Okay, let's talk about the Class 12 accountancy exam. For a lot of students, it feels like this huge mountain you have to climb. But what if I told you it's not a mountain, it's more like a code? And in this explainer, we're going to crack that code together, turning all that anxiety into a solid strategic plan.
3 hours, 80 marks, that's it. It's a ton of pressure, right? And it's totally normal to feel the weight of that. You've got this one single exam to show a whole year's worth of learning. But here's the thing about pressure. It's a lot easier to handle when you've got a map.
You open the paper and see a page like this, just full of instructions. It's easy to feel a little overwhelmed, but hidden inside all that complex text is a very predictable structure. See, every single exam has a blueprint, and our job today is to find it. So here's our roadmap. We'll start with the big picture, the exam blueprint. Then we'll dive into the two main sections, Part A and Part B. After that, we'll break down all the different question types you'll see. And finally, we're going to gear up for the big one, the 6-mark challenge. All right, let's get right into it. To win any game, you have to know the rules, you have to know the layout of the field, and for us, that means understanding the exam blueprint. Knowing exactly where the marks are coming from is your first step to building a really smart study plan. So, here's the official breakdown. The exam is split into two main parts. You've got Part A, which covers partnership firms and companies, and look at that, it's worth a massive 60 marks. Just partnerships alone make up 36 of those. Then you have Part B, financial statement analysis, which makes up the other 20 marks. Let me put that in perspective for you. Part A is 75% of your total score. That's 3/4 of the entire exam. This is such a huge insight because it tells you exactly where the core of your prep needs to be. Yeah, Part B is important, but absolutely mastering Part A is, well, it's non-negotiable. So let's zoom in on Part A. You should really think of this section as the bedrock of your entire accountancy knowledge. It's all about the accounting for the two major business structures you're going to see everywhere: partnerships and companies. And within Part A, these are the heavy hitters. You've got to be fluent in everything from partnership deeds and goodwill, all the way to the tricky stuff like share capital and debentures. And you can absolutely bet that you'll see questions on a partner's admission, or retirement, or even the dissolution of a whole firm.
Let's just grab one of those key concepts for a second. Goodwill. I know it can seem a little abstract, but it's really just the value of a company's good reputation. It's an intangible asset. You can't touch it, but it's so critical because it's what helps a business earn more than just the average profit. Nailing definitions like this is key.
Okay, time to switch gears and talk about Part B. This is where you go from being a bookkeeper to being an analyst. This 20-mark section isn't just about calculating the right numbers, it's about understanding what the heck those numbers are actually telling you. It's all about interpretation. And this is really important. You get a choice here. You can either do the section on analysis of financial statements, which covers things like cash flow and reissue analysis, or you can do the section on computerized accounting. For our purposes, we're going to focus on the financial statements option, just because it's the one most students go for. Part B usually kicks off with these 1-mark multiple-choice questions. They're designed to be a quick check of your basic knowledge. Things like, is this an operating activity, or how does this transaction affect the debt-equity ratio? Quick recall is the name of the game for these. And then the difficulty starts to ramp up. You move on from just recalling facts to actually applying them in 3- and 4-mark questions. They might ask you to classify items on a balance sheet, or even prepare a whole common-size statement. This stuff requires a much deeper level of understanding. So let's get strategic. This exam isn't just about what you know, it's about how you present it. And believe me, the way you handle a 1-mark question is totally different from how you approach a 6-mark question. Nailing this is vital for managing your time and getting a great score. You're going to face this mix of question types: the quick 1-mark MCQs, the 3-mark short answers, and then the heavyweights, the 4- and 6-mark long answer questions. It's pretty clear that those long answer problems carry a ton of weight, which means getting ready for them is absolutely crucial. Think of it like this. The MCQs are a sprint. They test a wide range of knowledge, and you need to be fast. But the 6-mark questions, those are a marathon. They test how deep your understanding goes on one single, complex topic. They need careful, multi-step problem solving, a clear structure, and just total clarity. You have to train for both. Which brings us to our final section, the 6-mark challenge. These are the final boss questions of the exam paper. Yeah, they can look pretty intimidating, but just like any boss fight in a video game, they can be beaten if you have the right strategy. A classic example of a 6-marker is a firm dissolution problem. You'll get a balance sheet, a whole list of transactions, and your job is to process all of it. You'll have to prepare a full realization account, update the partner's capital accounts, and then get the bank account to balance perfectly. It's a lot.
So how do you even start to tackle it? You deconstruct it. You take it apart piece by piece. Don't try to do it all at once. First, just read the whole thing carefully. Then, draw up your T account formats. Then, you just go step by step. Transfer assets, record transactions, and finally, calculate your profit or loss and close it out. A methodical approach is everything here.
So, what's the game plan? Here are your strategic takeaways. First, master the blueprint. Remember, 75% of your marks are in Part A. Second, build an unshakable foundation in those core concepts. Third, for Part B, practice thinking like an analyst, not just a calculator. And finally, for those big, scary problems, learn to break them down into simple, manageable steps. Let's end on this one thought. An exam is just a checkpoint. The subject of accounting is so much more than that. It's the language of business. It teaches you how to read, understand, and tell a company's financial story. So as you're preparing, think beyond the marks for a second and ask yourself, what story do you want to tell?